Okay, everybody, welcome. I'm going to be solving the questions from your assignment, and I want to just give you, for all those who have not done it, use this as corrections. Okay, even if you have done it, make sure you watch everything and you use it as corrections for the assignment that I gave you the other day. So I'm just going to quickly solve every question in these. It's not a lot of questions, okay? So it'll be good for you in case you don't know anything about this, or if you joined us after I taught this and did the assignment and you haven't watched the videos on the site, just go through this with me. And I'm going to be explaining the questions, but by solving a lot of these questions is to do with the cumulative frequency curve and the histogram, okay? So we're going to be doing the histogram, and we're going to be doing the cumulative frequency curve. I expect to go live again soon, doing the rest of the statistics, the other things, just doing a run through statistics questions, okay? So let me explain, and for all those that don't know what it was about. So it was statistics. Remember that your IGCSE maths, remember that it is 9 topics, right? It is 9 topics, and this is the topic number 9. This is chapter 9, statistics. Okay, this is chapter 9, statistics. And for us to say we are great at it, we need to know, number 1, you need to know the mean and the median and the mode, and you need to know the range, how to get the range. Then you need to know how to get the upper quartile. You need to know how to get the lower quartile and how to get the interquartile range. So these are the things these are quantities, right? These are quantities and stats that you need to be able to find for different types of data. And I'm not looking at that right now. So I'm just showing you, but I'm not looking at that. Then afterwards, of course, we know that you need to now be able to represent your information on different things. One is a stem and leaf. And the most important thing on a stem and leaf, yes, you should be able to put things on a stem and leaf diagram, but you must then also know how to find the median and these other things from your stem and leaf diagram. So we'll see questions to do with that. After stem and leaf, then we have histogram, which is, we're going to look at it today. Then we also have cumulative frequency curve, okay? Cumulative frequency curve, okay? Then we also have bar graph, which comes once in a while. I will talk about it. In this lesson, we are looking at statistics part 2, okay, because obviously this is part 1 where you talk about these quantities. Then we have part 2 where we talk about these different things as well. Histogram, cumulative frequency, and we're going to look at how we can sketch a histogram, and then the cumulative frequency curve, we'll see how to sketch it and also how to use it to answer different things. What you are mostly asked when you are dealing with the cumulative frequency curve, what you are mostly asked is, you're asked to, number 1, you find the median, okay, where the cumulative frequency curve is going to be different. So let me just tell you right now and we get to work, okay? For a histogram, the most important thing that we were going to talk about is the frequency density. That's the most important thing, because once you have frequency density, you can find, once you know the formula for frequency density, histogram, you are done. Okay? If you know the formula for frequency density, histogram, you're done. For cumulative frequency curve, you should know how to find the median on a cumulative frequency curve, the upper quartile on a cumulative frequency curve, the lower quartile on a cumulative frequency curve. It's a little bit different from the other things. And then, of course, if you know how to find these two, then you can be able to find the interquartile range, which is upper quartile minus lower quartile. So for you to find interquartile range, you need to know how to find the upper quartile and the lower quartile, then subtract them to find the interquartile range. We'll be doing that, and how to find the number of things as well. How to find the number of things. How to find the number of things. We'll see how to. So let's go ahead and let's do it. Cumulative. Here, histogram, we're going to be able to do everything because we're going to just use the idea that frequency density is equal to frequency over class width. I'll talk about it, and then that's the only thing we're going to need to do. Then the cumulative frequency curve, we're going to sketch it, and then we're going to answer questions using it. And when you answer questions using it, you must know that when you use a cumulative frequency curve, when you answer questions on a cumulative frequency curve, you must always use it. Okay, you'll calculate something, then you use the frequency curve to then find the real answer. So anyway, it's a two-step process. Let's get to the questions, and then you'll be able to make sense of everything I'm trying to say. This is the first one. These are past paper questions, by the way, that I just gathered and gave here as an assignment. So you must be able to solve them. Let's go through it. So this is a cumulative frequency. Remember, we are doing statistics, and this is chapter 9. And we are looking at cumulative frequency curve and at histogram. These are the two most important diagrams, and a box and whisker plot as well. So let me put box and whisker, but we are not doing it today, but it's another one which is very common in the exam. Okay, so we'll talk about them and make sure you're good. Make sure you're good at chapter 9. Okay, you should be good at all the chapters. This is the last one, the very last chapter for your IGCSE mathematics, which is chapter 9, and you must be good at it. Cumulative frequency, here it is. Question number 1. Let's do question number 1 right now. So we're going to have the cumulative. Question number 1 is using the curve. It's not about sketching it. It's already been sketched. All cumulative frequency curves have this shape, okay? Like this, and then they go up like that. All of them. If you ever sketch one and you don't get this type of shape, you're obviously wrong. Use the diagram to find the median. So here we are learning how to use the cumulative frequency curve to do different things. So here we're finding the median. Okay, so if you're dealing with cumulative frequency curve, let me say it right now because I've already talked about it here, to say you should know how to find the median, upper quartile, lower quartile, and whatever. How to find the median? You're going to find 50% of the thing, okay, or 1/2 of the value. Then you're going to use the curve. So if you're using the curve, there's one part which is the calculation stage. Then the second part is after every calculation, you must use the curve. If you're doing a question on a cumulative frequency curve and you don't use the curve, you are wrong. You have to use the curve. Okay, we'll see how. Upper quartile is going to be 3/4. Okay, median is half. Let's not say 50%. Let's just say half. Median is going to be half. So you do half. You calculate half of the total frequency. Then you use the curve. Upper quartile, you calculate 3/4 of the total frequency. Then you use the curve. You have to use the curve at every stage. Okay, after your calculation. Then lower quartile is 1/4 of the total frequency. Then you use the curve. That's how you do it on a cumulative frequency curve. That's when you do this whole thing. All right, so here's our cumulative frequency curve. The total frequency is 200, as you can see. This is the total frequency. This is the total frequency, which means this is the total number of people or whatever that we're dealing with here. 200 students. So here's students. Now here they say find median, which is obviously half. Upper quartile is 3/4. Lower quartile is 1/4. So median is obviously half. So we're going to say, okay, what is half of 200? So to find median, first you say half times 200. What do you get? 2 into 2, 1 into 2, 1. And this is 0, 0. That's 100. This 100 multiplies 1. You get 100. So the median is 100. So you go to 100. The answer is not 100. You should then use the curve. You always have to use the curve. So we go to 100. We use the curve like this. We go to 100 and we see where it hits the curve. Then we go down to get the actual answer. Cumulative frequency, we always have to use the curve. So now you go and you see the answer is 14. So the median is 14. Interquartile range. First you must find the upper quartile. What is the upper quartile? To find the upper quartile, remember the first thing you do, you with the pencil, you're going to say, what is 3/4 of 200? What is 3/4 of 200? So I can say 200 times 3 over 4. It will help me to know 3/4 of 200. So let me see what that is. 200 times 3, then divided by 4. It's 150. So I must go to 150, okay? Then use the curve, okay? Don't forget to use the curve. Okay? Don't forget to use the curve. Okay, for sure. So now let's see how we're going to use. Okay, you can watch in 7 days. That's fine. Then you say 1. This is going to be between 140 and 160. So we'll go 1, 2, and 2.5. So 1, 2.5, somewhere here. This is where it's going to be 150. So we can zoom in. This is where we're going to have your 150, right? Right at the center of this. So let's go at the center. Let's follow it with our pencil. Don't forget, you have to use the curve after the calculation, or else you're not doing a cumulative frequency curve. I don't know what you'll be doing. Okay? There we go. There we go. We hit here. Once we hit at the center, you can go down, okay, and see what value that will be. It's going to be at the center as well of this, so we go down, 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 down like this at the center. Let's see what value we're going to get. Oh, that's 15. Wow. Okay. Because it's between 14 and 16. So upper quartile is 15. Okay. They don't want the upper quartile. They want the interquartile range, which we know is upper quartile minus lower quartile. So upper quartile is 15. And now you need to find the lower quartile. There's no way to find interquartile range when you don't have the upper quartile and the lower quartile. So to find the lower quartile, we'll say 1/4 of the total frequency first. Of the total frequency, then we use the curve. So 1/4 of the total frequency first, which is like to say 200 times 1, then divided by 4. Okay? You understand? So you go here, you'll get 50 as your answer, by the way. So this is 40, you say 50 will be here at the center, right? 2.5. So this is where 50 is. You move nicely. You move nicely like this. At 50, you follow it up nicely. You see, you hit here, then you go down, 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 down like this, and you're going to get it as 13. Oh, that's great. So lower quartile is equal to 13. That means the interquartile range is going to be equal to 15 minus 13, which is equal to 2. So the interquartile range is 2. You have found, you have used your diagram, you have used the cumulative frequency curve to find these things. You see? Now we'll go to number 2 of our assignment. So these are the solutions for the very first thing. I hope all of you got it correct. Now we'll go to the second one, right? This is the second one. And you have this table. Okay? Give me a second. I want to try and increase the and make sure the stream quality is high. Alright, so this is good. Now we'll keep going. This is the second one. This is the second question. Let's see how it goes. So here's the second question. Number 2. It says the mass kgs of each of blah 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 blah. Okay, this doesn't really help. This doesn't really help. I'm not interested in reading this. Doesn't help me. Here I see the word histogram. Okay, that's the thing I want. Ooh, histogram. Once I see the word histogram, I write the formula which is going to save me. Okay, frequency divided by class width. Okay, which is W. If I don't have this formula, then I don't know what histogram I'm going to solve. I can't solve a histogram without this formula. So I have to know this formula for my histogram. So I put it, now let me start the histogram. So here I have frequency, here I have the classes and stuff. So what did they say? Complete the histogram. Okay, so I'm just going to be using this formula. I'm just going to be using this formula until I find it. So let's find the frequency density. Which ones do they have? Okay, for the first one and the second one they have given us. So we're finding for the third one. So if this is the first one, this is the second one they've given us. We're going to find third and the fourth and the fifth one. So frequency density of the third one is equal to, what is the frequency? 15, okay, which is this one. Remember, it's frequency over class width. You have to do that. Frequency density is equal to frequency divided by class width. So what's the frequency? 15 divided by the class width. This is from 2 to 4, okay? This is the one. So you say 4 minus 2. That's the width of the class. So it's going to be 15 divided by 2, which you get as 7.5. So for here, it's going to be 7.5 of the fourth class. This is going to be equal to, what is the frequency of the fourth class? 10 over the class width, 7 minus 4. So it's going to be frequency 10 divided by the class width, 7 minus 4, which is 10 divided by 3. Okay? You put it in the calculator. You're going to find it as what? 3.33 what, right? All right, let's find frequency density for the fifth class, which is going to be frequency 4 divided by class width 12 minus 7. So it'll be 12 minus 7. So it's going to be 4. You can do that. 4 divided by 5, you get 0.8. So there we go. These are the things, these are the values. So let's start by putting the third one. The third one is a 7.5. Here is your 7. This is the line for 7. And 0.5, you'd say this is 7.2, 7.4. 7.5 is at the center here. So we're going to go all the way up and move it at the center like. Okay, this is 7. Oh, so this is 7. This is 7.2, 7. All right, and where is it from? The 7.5, it's for class number 3. It's from 2 all the way to 4. So from 2 all the way to 4. So for 4 all the way to 4, it's going to be going up like this until we get into this value, which is right at the center. So this thing, okay? And it's going to be like this. So that's how you do for this one. You do it with a ruler, obviously. Then we do for the next one. It's 3.3. It's like here, 3. This is the value for 3. Then this is 3.2. Then this is 3.4. So 3.33 is like just here, just above 3.2. And it's from 4 all the way to 7. So all the way to 7. Then we do the last one, from 7 all the way to 12, being at 0.8, which is one step behind 1. So it's like here at 0.8. This is the step, this one. Now it's going to be like this. Histogram. How did I complete the histogram? By using the formula frequency density is frequency over class width. The answers that I put are for frequency density, which is these answers that I was getting. These are the answers that you scale. Okay, you look for them on here, but you have to first calculate the frequency density. If you don't have this, if you do your own thing, then I don't know. It's not my fault. I've told you what to do, and these are the solutions. Don't do your own thing. Do this. These are the solutions, and you'll be done. All right. All right, so now this isn't the third one. This is the third question. Okay, so you have the first question, and then now they're actually asking you to complete a cumulative frequency table. So we are no longer getting the graph, which is already sketched out. Here they want us to sketch out the graph. Okay, by first you got to find the cumulative frequency, then you start going on and on and on. So cumulative frequency, remember I said you start with the very first frequency, which is 3 in here, because they're saying less than or equal to 10, which is a 3. Then to get the next one here, cumulative frequency is the total frequencies up until that point. So up until we are at 25, we are less than or equal to 25, so which is 3 and 19. So you started at 3, you put the 3 in here. To get the next one, you add 19, then you're going to get the next one. So 3 plus 19, that's 22. To get the next one, you're going to add 21. 21 plus 22, that's 43. Okay, then to get to the next one, this is going to be 48. Okay, you add 5, right? Then for here, so this is what happens. This is how you do the cumulative frequency. Then you go and sketch at the values that they're saying. Okay, you now have the cumulative frequency table. So now what you're going to do, you sketch so that you can sketch the cumulative frequency curve. Okay, so they're saying, what is the value for cumulative frequency? It's 3. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. So there's going to be 3. Then 20, we say 21, 22. So this is where, this is 22. Then 40, we put 43, 41, 42, 43. This is 43. 48. So 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. This is 48. Then you're going to have 50. All right, good. So now we start with 3. 3, it was less than or equal to 10. So you go to 10 here. Where it meets 3, I'll kind of put a star here. I'll put a small thing like an X like this. 3 and 10. Then 22 is going to meet 25. 2, and it's going to meet 25 on here, which is 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So this is 25. You go up with 25. You go up with 25. You go up with 25 until it meets 22. Until it meets 22. They meet here. Then we can erase the rest. All right. Then what's the next value on the X? 35. 35 is the next value on the X. It's going to meet cumulative frequency, which is what we always put on the Y. 43. So 35 on the X. You go 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So this is 35. We go all the way up with it. You see where it means 43. It's here. So this is where we want it to be. And then we now do the last one. No, we still have 2 more. There's 40 on the X, so we go to 40 on the X, which is here. We go all the way up. And on 40, it's meeting 48 on there. So we go with 48, which is 2 steps downwards. And they meet here. Good. Then I can erase. Then now 50 on the X is meeting with 50 on the Y. So they're going to meet here. Now, you see, you go up like this, then you curve back. Don't forget, it has to curve back like this. You do nicely. You do with your pencil, moving slowly. It shouldn't be like mine, scruffy like that. Okay, it should be nice, smooth with the pencil. And this is going to be your cumulative frequency curve. Now we have used it, so we get marks for that. Well done. 3 marks for sketching. Well done. Now, use your diagram to find an estimate for the number of children. Remember, we are finding number of children, which means the answer is going to be here, cumulative frequency. But remember, we are going to use the curve. Because if we don't use the curve, then it's not a cumulative frequency question. Your cumulative frequency curve question. The question is a cumulative frequency curve question. Then you have to use the curve. You have to use the curve. So we're going to have to use the curve. Right. Let's use that curve. With a mass of 32 degrees. Oh, that becomes so easy. We're going to use the curve, and we are starting at a mass of 32 degrees. Oh, that's so easy. So you go to 30, the mass. Okay? Okay, sorry for that. We go to the mass. Let me go to the mass. Sorry for that. We go to the mass of 32. So this is 31. This is 32. We go all the way up with it. Okay. All the way up. all the way up with that 32. Nicely, okay? You meet your curve. I made it here, which is exactly here. Then I'm gonna follow it. I can see it's gonna be exactly 39 students. Just one before 40. So the number of students with 32, they say 32 or less. Okay, so here with exactly 32, and less. Now let's talk about it. If it is 32 and less, then the answer you get, if it's less, as long as it's for less, the answer you get is the answer. The answer you get is going to be the answer. If it's for less, okay? The answer that you're going to get is going to be the solution. If it's going to be for less, then the answer that you get is going to be the solution. So 39 is this. If they had said more, class, then we would say 50 minus 39. So when you hear them say more, then the answer you get is not the answer. You start at 50, you subtract the answer that you have. So because this is not the idea, then that means that because they say less, that means we are taking from 0 to 39. So that means 39 is the answer, because you'd say 39 minus 0. So you'd say, okay, with 32 kgs or less, the answer I got was the answer, which is 39. So in here, you just write your answer as 39, and that's going to be the solution. That's how you use the cumulative frequency curve to solve this 0 to 39 thing, okay? If they say 32 kgs or less, first you go to 32 kgs. You have to use the curve. If you don't use the cumulative frequency curve, you are not doing a cumulative frequency curve question. If it's a cumulative frequency curve question, you have to use the curve. You have to use the curve. If you don't use the curve, so here we use the curve. We went to 32 kgs. We used the curve to find the number of people. We got them as 39. Since they said or less, that means we take 39. If they had said or more, 32 or more, we would say 50 minus 39 would get that answer. Are we together? Good. So the answer is going to be 39, and that is going to be the answer. Okay? That is going to be the answer. Right. Right, so now let's go for it. Let's go for the other one. Now we are doing this one. So now we're going to do this next one, okay? Here's the thing. The height, blah, 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 blah. Complete the histogram. So this is histogram. Once you see the word histogram, you're going to write frequency density is equal to frequency divided by class width. This is what you do the moment you see the word histogram. Once you see the thing histogram, you say frequency density is frequency over class width. So now let's do it for all the things. Remember, look at them. They've done for the first one. They've done for the second one. That means we now need to do the other ones. So let's just do one to confirm if our answers is going to be the same as theirs. So let's just do frequency density, the first one. It's going to be, what is the frequency here? 8 divided by, okay? It's always frequency divided by class width. So frequency 8 divided by class width, 15 minus 10. So divided by 15 minus 10, which is going to be 8 divided by 5, which is going to be what? What is the answer when you say 8 divided by 5? 1.6. Did they do 1.6? This is 1.5, and then they put 1.6 here. Okay. First one. Here they put it on 1.7. Similarly, it's on 1.7. Okay, let's do for the next one. Let's do for number 2. Let's see. frequency density for the second one is going to be, what is the frequency? 18 divided by the class width, we say 25 minus, so let's say it's 25 minus 15, which is 1.8. Okay, so this is going to be 1.8. And you can see that's the one. All right, so this is going to be 118 divided by this, you get 1.8. Let's see if that is that's the one they did for here. 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. So this is 1.6 then, 1.7 here, 1.8 here, and then 1.9 here, which is okay. That's true. So this is 1.6, okay, after 2 steps. This is 1.7 after 2 steps. This is 1.8 after 2 steps. This is 1.9 after 2 steps. So that's correct. So here, this first one is on 1.6, which is the same as our answer, which is correct. This one is on 1.8, which is the same as the second answer. So that's correct. So it's frequency over class width. That's how you do it to find the frequency density. So now we need to find for the third one, for the fourth one, for the fifth one, and they will not be working space when they say complete the histogram. They will just say complete the histogram. You don't get working space, so you must work around, okay, around the thing. So now let's do it. We're going to say frequency density for the third one is going to be frequency over class width for the third one. What's the frequency? 28 over the class width, 40 minus 25. So it's going to be 28 over 40 minus 25, which is going to be 28 divided by 40 minus 25, 15, right? So it's 28 over 15. Confirm that for the third one, 28 over, yes. So let's do it. 28 divided by 15, you get 1.87. 1.87, which is almost like 1.9. Yeah? It's just, we can say it's around about 1.9. Anyway, let's do frequency density for the fourth one. Okay, because we want all of them. Remember, you just hear frequency over class width. So what's the frequency? 33 over class width, 40 to 60. So it's 33 divided by 60 minus 40, which is going to be 33 divided by 20. So we're going to do it. 33 divided by 20, you get 1.65 as the frequency density for the fourth one. Then we do the frequency density for the fifth one, okay, which is the fifth one, which is this one, because we want to sketch the whole thing. They said completed. Don't worry about this sentence. You spend a lot of time trying to understand that one, but it's not important. So what is the frequency? The moment you see the word histogram, I want to see this formula, or else I don't know what you're doing. That's the formula you got to remember. You have to know it by heart. So it's going to be 13 over 70 minus 60, okay? Because that's the class width, 70 minus 60. That's the class width. The top minus the lower one. That's the class width, okay? So the frequency is this one, 30. Then class width, you say big one minus small one. So it's 13 over 70 minus 60. So it's 13 divided by 70 minus 60, which is 13 divided by 10, which is 1.3. So now let's put the values, and then you'd be done. All right, so here we have 1.87 for the next one, that's for the third one. This one was on 1.8, then the other one is on 1.87, which is just above that. Okay. This is 1.85. Okay, the first one here is 1.85. The first box is 1.85. We pass it. We go close to 1.9, which is here, so, and we move around 1.87 like this. So it's going to be just above 1.85. Something like this. And it will be from what to what? The third one is from 25 all the way to 40. So you go to 40, you lift up 40. Okay? Make sure you go to 40 and you lift up 40 like that. And you do it like this, like this, like this. That's how you go. And you're going to have the third one. This is the third one. Don't label. You don't have to label them. But I'm just going to put, you can remove with your pencil at the end. Now we want for the fourth one, which is from 40 to 60. Okay, so it's gonna be all the way up to 60 here. Okay, it's going to be all the way up to 60, which is here. It's from 40 to 60. You do it with your ruler. And that's the fourth one. It's going to be on 1.65. That's the answer you got for frequency density. 1.65. So you go to 1.6, and 1.65 is this one then. This is 1.65. So you go 1.65, you move with it, you move with it, you move with it, you move with it, and it's going to start here and go all the way to 60. So it's going to start here and end here. This is going to be the fourth one. Then you can remove to be 1.65. Then the last one, the fifth one, where is the fifth one? Is 1.3. That's the fifth one, the last one, 1.3. And you can see here it's from 60 to 70, okay? It's from 60 to 70 at 1.3. So we're going to go to 1.3. This is 1, okay? This will be 1.1. This will be 1.2. You go 2 steps. This is 1.3. This is 1.4. So we are on 1.3. We want to stay on 1.3. So we move with 1.3. We're going to erase it later. 1.3. And we start from 60. We go all the way to 70. 70 is the end of this. So it's going to be like this. It's like the fifth one. So now we can erase this. And we can even erase all the numbers. But I just put the numbers to show you so that you can see that, okay, so this is going to be the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. And everything to do with the histogram is on one formula. Are you telling me you're going to forget this formula? If you see the word histogram and you don't put this formula, then I'm going to run away from you. Okay, you have to do this formula. That's what you're for the histogram, the fifth one, and you have all your histograms. You have completed it. Well done, you're done. Now, this is the next question, okay? This is the next question. So this, let's label our questions so far that we have done. We have done this one, which is number 1, the cumulative frequency curve. We did this histogram, number 2. We did this other cumulative frequency curve where we had to sketch, number 3. So we've done 4 questions. Now we would need to go to the question number 5, and it's not too much, okay? It's not too much. It's just enough for you to practice. It's enough for you to practice and see how it goes. So this was a lot for some, but for some it wasn't. This is good practice. This is good practice. You know when you're done with this one, you're not coming back here. Histogram cumulative frequency, you are done with them. So anyway, this was the number 5, where you had 100 students and you had your cumulative frequency curve, and now they wanted the same stuff: median, interquartile range. We know how to do this. Then the number of students, blah blah blah, eats pizza. We'll see how to do it. First of all, when it's about median, interquartile range, we know what it is about. They want you to see if you know that for median you're going to use half. For interquartile range, you're going to use upper quartile minus lower quartile. And to get upper quartile, you use 3/4 and then the curve. For lower quartile, you use 1/4 and then the curve. For median, you use half of the total frequency and then the curve. So for everything, you're going to still need the curve. So in here, the total frequency is 100. And for median, you'd say half of 100, which is like to say 100 divided by 2, you get 50. You go to 50, which is here. You go with it onto your curve, okay, to see what value that would give you. You hit onto the curve, then you go down like this, and you can see what value median it will be. This is the value for median. And what is that? This is 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 9.1, 9.2, number 3, number 4, number. Okay, this is 9.2, 9.4. So this is 9.4. This is 9.4. So your median is 9.4 minutes. Interquartile range, let's first find the upper quartile, which is 70. Since it's out of 100, it would be 75. 75, this is 60, this is 70, this is 72, this is 74, This is 76. So 75 is just in the middle here, and you move with it, okay? You stay in the middle, you move with it like that. Until you get here. Then you can go down. Remember, this is the upper quartile. Then you go down. You still need the curve. If you don't use the curve, then you are doing something extremely wrong. You have to always use the curve. As long as it's cumulative frequency, you gotta use the curve. This is 11, this is 12, this is 13, this is 14, that's 15. So this is 11, this is 10.2, 10.4, it's 10.4. So that means the upper quartile is equal to 10.4. What is the lower quartile going to be? We say, instead of saying this one, the upper quartile, which is 75, the lower quartile of 100 is 1/4 of the total of 100. 1/4 times 100. It's like to say 100 divided by 4, you get 25. So you go to 20, 22, 24, 25 is at the center between 24 and 26. This is where you get your 25, right at the center here. Then you move with it like that. Then you move with it like that. It hits here. Then you go down. And you find your answer being 8. That's the lower quartile. So the lower quartile is exactly 8, which means the interquartile range is going to be 10.4, the upper quartile, minus the lower quartile, 8. There you go. So you're going to just put that in the calculator, or you can say to him, if you know 10.4 minus 8, which is 2.4, you can still do it with your head. There we go. So 2.4 is going to be my interquartile range. They are checking, do you know how to find the quartiles using the curve? Don't forget to use the curve. You do your calculation, but always use the curve. The answer you get from the calculation is not the answer. You always have to use the curve at some stage. That is if you're doing this cumulative frequency curve. There is no way you're not going to use it. Here, the number of students taking more than 11 minutes. So I want you to focus on 11 minutes. You're still going to use the curve. You go to 11 minutes, which is here, then you use the curve. Okay, so this is two things involved. First of all, they want to see if you know how to use the curve. So if it's 11, you use the curve, you go up, up, up with your curve like this. Okay, with your curve, you go up, up, up from 11, and you are trying to find the number of people. So you hit the curve, then now you can move with this to see the number of people. Right, so this goes like this. Okay. And this is going to be 82. So it's 82. Now I want you to know that the answer you get 11 or less. If they say more, then you say 100, the maximum, minus the answer you got. So here you'd say 100 minus 18. So the more is 18. These are the 18 students. For more. I hope you understand. At first, use the curve to find for exactly 11. Now, the answer you would have found is if they had said people who are students taking less than 11 minutes, okay, or 11 or less. If they're saying 11 or less, then that is the answer. The answer you'd have gotten, you'd have for more. Always just know that for more, you say the total. You don't say 100 all the time. You say the total, which is, for this case, it's 100, but it may be 200, it can be 400. You say question, it said more. Then that is how you would have solved it, and you'd be done with this number 5. So are we fine with number 5? Yes, we are fine with number 5. Good job. Now we can go on to number 6. Now I can go into number 6. This becomes our question number 6. I hope you can all see the screen still. I trust you can. And I hope the quality is great. I do hope the quality is great. Okay, so let's go on for it. This is going to be our number 6. The table shows about the mass of whatever 50 children and this. Draw a cumulative frequency curve. So anyway, let's draw a cumulative frequency curve. For the first one, it's starting at 0. So it's starting at 0 for the first one. Then what is it doing now? It is, that is, less than or equal to 20. Okay, so that is 0 less than or equal to 20. That's great. Then we say it goes to 7 for 22. Okay, so let me just explain something. These values that will be saying less than or equal to this, these are the x values. You should always know that the cumulative frequency values are the y values. These are the y values. Cumulative frequency are the y. If you want to sketch, are the y values, then the other ones are the x. So x, we are picking 22. On y, we are picking 7. We look where they meet. So x, we go to 22. That is between 20 and 24. So let's see how it's 20 to 24, right? And it's represented by 10 boxes. So you want to know what one box represents. So you say 20 to 24, that's 4. And it's represented by 10 boxes. You always divide by the number of boxes. You get 0.4. So each box represents 0.4. So this is going to be 20.4. This is 20.8. This is 21.2. This is 21.6. This is 22. Okay, you can be adding 0.4 and see. So this is 22 on the x. Like they said, they want 22 on the x to meet with 7 on the y. So on the y, you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you see this is going to be 7. You see where it's going to meet with 22. And it's here. You put an x there. Okay, you're going to put an x where they meet, like that. Then you go for the next one. On the x, 24. Okay, these masses or whatever it's going to be, were less than or equal to 24 and then 23 on the y. So on the x, we go to 24. There it is. It's nice and easy. We go up until we get to 23. Right, crayon so that you can see. This is 21. This is 22. This is 23. Well, I'll put the x. All right, so now I can remove the markers. Then I go for the next one. Okay, because this was 21, this was 22, and then 23 was here. Oh, okay, so it's here. 23. Right. 21, 22, 23. Okay, that's good. So that's 23. Now we can go to the next one. Okay, 28 on the x. Do we have 28? Oh, nice. There we go. 28 on the x. We go all the way up to what? 28 goes with 35 on the y. So 28 goes like this. This is 30 on the y. Now we want 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Going with 28. So this is how it is. 35 going with 28. So here you can say 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. 35, you move, you see, yep, that's correct. It meets with 28. So now we can erase because we don't want to see these. We want to sketch the curve, so we'll remove. Now the next we are putting is 32. Then we do 36, then we do 40. So it's 32, it's going to meet 43. So 32. We might as well just put lines because we've seen that for all the x values we'll be taking on these whole numbers. So it's 32. Then the next one was 36. Then so we'll go 36. Okay. We'll see where it meets its partner. Then the next one is 42. So 32, 36, 42. So this is 40. And that's 40.4, 40.8, 41.2, 41.6, 42. This is 42. So you go up with value somewhere at the top. All right, so let's see now. they said 32 should meet who? 32 on the x should meet on the y, 43. 43 on the y. So on the y we go 40, we say 41, 42, 43. 43 on the y, which is this one, should meet the first line, and that's here. So now we can remove the red crayons. Okay, and they meet here. So. Okay. Right now we say 36 on the x here. That's good. It's on the x. It meets on the y the cumulative frequency value of 47. So we go 50, 49, 48, 47. This is 47. It goes all the way at 47 until we meet this red line. So they are going to meet. Then we can remove these markings. Well done. So we can remove it. Then the last value is 42 on the x meeting 50. So you go on 50 until you meet this value. So it's going to end here. Okay? And now you can sketch your curve. Everybody knows what the curve should look like. At first we had 0 on the x. No, we had 0 on the y, 20 on the x. That's exactly, oops. 20 on the x, 0 on the y, that was here. So anyway, we now do your curve, your cumulative frequency curve. We know what it should look like, so that's good. It will end up being like this, which is correct, which is good. There's your cumulative frequency curve, and you are done. Now you're done. This is good. Good. Remember, if you want to know the value of one grid, you see how big it is, then you divide by the number of boxes, okay? Then you know what is the value of one grid. So you start adding from 24, you add to be 24.4, 24.8, 25.2, 25.6, 26. That's how it'll be adding like that. So if you see it's 0. Anyway, you can be doing it with your calculator to make sure you're correct. Use your graph to find the 90th percentile. 90th percentile means 90%. So 90%, right, really. So what is the first thing you do? You do the calculations. Any percentage or quartiles or what you'll be doing of the maximum value. So if it's 90th percentile, it's 90% of the maximum value, which is of 50, which is going to be, what is the answer? You say 50 times 90, then you say divided by 100. You get 45. So that means we are going to go to 45, and we see what it is. We go to 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So this is going to be 45, and we move with our 45. We move with our 45 until it hits the curve. It hits it nicely here. Then I can move down with my value now to see, because I've found my 45. I'm now just moving down with my value. Move down with your value, down with your value, down with your value, down with your value, down until you hit somewhere here. So now, what is that? We know that one box is 0.4, so this is 32.4, 32.8, 33.2. So this is 33.2. Okay. So 33.2. kgs. Because it's a mass, it's kgs. Well done. So you'd be done with your number 6, I guess. Yep. That is the number 6. And you'll be done with it. Well done. And now we see number 7. So we write number 7. That's the next one. Number 7. We have this table, which is linked with this one. Here they want the cumulative frequency table from here, obviously from the first table. That's easy. We said you take this first value, you put it in here. That's 3, which is already there. Then you add 7, okay? You add 7 to 3, you're going to get 10. You come and put in the next one. Okay? Then from 10, you add 18, you get 28. You put in the next one. Then from 28, you add this 28 again. What are you going to get? You say 28 plus 28, you get 56. So you put in the next one. Then from 56, you add 24, you get 80, you put it in here. That's easy. What did we say? You take, that's how you do the cumulative frequency table. You start with the first frequency, which is 3. You put it in the first file, which is in 3 here. It's already there. Then you add this one to the 3, you get 10, you come put in here. Then you add this one to the 10, you get 28, you come put in here. Then you add 28 to the other 28, you get 56, you come put in here. Then you add 24 to 56, you get 80, you come put in here. So that's how it goes. So this is how it has been. Now once you have this, you can sketch. Remember we said the cumulative frequency values are the y values. These are the y values and these are the x values. These are the x values. Okay? So let's start sketching. What do we have? On the x, 5. On the y, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where 5 is. And then we know that this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it's 2 here. 3 will be at the center. Between 2 and 4. So it'll be like here at the center. And where it meets 5 is here. So 5 and 3. Then the next one we do is 10 and 10. Okay? 10 in the x values, 10 in the y values. The cumulative frequency is always the y values. So we see where 10 meets 10. It's here. So we can put a star. Next is x value is this one, which is less than or equal to. The cumulative frequency is always the y. So x value is 28 in the x, then 20 is 20 in the x, 28 in the y. So we go to the x, we take 20. We go to the y, we take 28, which is 1 less than 30, which is here. We see where they meet. They meet here. So that's where we're going to put in x. Then next we say 56 and 35. 35 in the x, 56 in the y. So 35 in the x. So 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 35 in the x. You go up. 50 in the y, like this. And they meet here. So it's going to be. This is the point. And we can take it off. Then we say for the next one, it's 60 in the x, 80 in the y. The cumulative frequency is the y value. So 60 in the x. So we go to 60 in the x. And in the y, we go to 80, which is here. So they basically meet at the very top there, at the end. Wow, really? Yes. So now we got to make it like this. Starts going up. Then you can do it like this. Then make sure you curve down again like that, so that it looks a little bit like a cumulative frequency curve. Okay. There we go. Just like we had something like that. So either way, you could have kept it. This is how it's going to be, but it should end like that. Now, find an estimate for the 80th percentile. The estimate for the 80th percentile means 80%. So you're going to say 80% means over 100. So it's going to be 80 over 100 times you always get for the maximum. You get for the maximum number, then you're going to use the graph. So you always say whatever. If they say 60th percentile, it will be 60 over 100 of the maximum. So it's 80 over 100 of the maximum, which is 80. So you're going to say 80 times 80 divided by 100, you get 64. So that means the 80th percentile is on 64, 62, 64. So it's here. You go along with your 64. It hits your graph nicely here. Then you go down with the graph. This is 42 minutes. So estimate of the 80th percentile, 42 minutes. Don't forget you're going to use the curve at some point. Hi, Michelle. I see you. Well done. Don't forget you should always use the curve at some point. Now, let's see this one. Find an estimate for the percentage of people. In other words, for you to find percentage of people, first you need to find the number of people. Let's see the one number of people who did what. We start with number of people, then we do percentage. Don't worry. Who took longer than 35? Longer is also more. So let's first, than 45 minutes. Let's first go to 45 minutes and find the number of people who took 45, or we can say 45 for less. So let's go to those. We go to 45 on the X. Okay, 42, 43, 44, 45 is here. We go to 45, we use our curve. We always have to use the curve. So you go to 45, you use the curve. All the way up to here. Then you can go flat like this to see the number of people. And you find exactly 68. So, number of people that took 45 minutes or less will always be the answer you get on the graph when you put in 45 minutes. You go with 45 minutes to your graph, you get an answer. That would be the number of people who did or less. Once they say or more, you're going to say maximum minus the answer you'd have gotten. So you say, what is it for 45 or more? You're going to say 80 minus 68. This is equal to 12 minutes, 12 people. Sorry. This is equal to 12 people. Okay, because we said or more. Once you say or more, you will use the answer that you get, but it's not the answer. You now say 80 minus the answer, then you'll get or more. If it was or less, then just use 68. Here they said or more, so we say 80 minus 68. We get 12 people. But now they want them as a percentage. So to now get them as a percentage, you are now going to say 12 people to get them as a percentage. 12 people divided by the maximum number of people, 80. Then you multiply by 100%. You get them as a percentage. So you say 12 divided by 80, you get it. Then you say times 100, you get 15%. So it's 15%. That's going to be the final solution of people who took longer than 45 minutes. Do you see the steps? Point number one, if they say longer or if they say more, then the answer you get is not the answer. You say maximum minus that answer so that you can get the stuff which is above here. Right, then that's for more. Then now you can find it as a percentage by dividing over the total. So this is number 7. And that's the one which we just did. So we've just finished number 7. And now we are going to get ready for question number 8. Okay. Wow. This is a lot. We're going to get ready for question number 8. You've done very, very well. Maybe I'll just give you a small tea break, whatever you can call it. And then we'll be back to continue more. To finish the rest of this, but we've done number 1 up to number 8, and I'm sure this is the second half, just when we do these last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 9, 10 questions. 10 questions because this is the same table. So once we come back and we do the last 10 questions, then you'd be done with the assignment and we'll see where it goes from there. Well done. We've taken the first hour. I'm happy. You've all done very well. Goodbye for now.